Hi there, I'm Diane Brown. I am your professor this spring. If you are watching this video, you are in one of my classes. I had recorded individual videos for each class before, but I'm having trouble with captions. So I'm using a different system and I'm just recording one video for all of my classes. So welcome to all of you. You are in my personal health class, or you are in my class, Drugs, Health, and Society, or you might be in public health and social justice. Whatever class you're in, or if you're in more than one, I welcome you and I'm excited to have you. Um, I'm just going to go over a couple of things that I hope will help you be successful this semester. Most importantly is that you stay engaged. And the best way to do that is to look out for my announcements that I will post every Monday, except if it's a holiday on Monday, I'll post on a Tuesday. But I'll post on Monday, usually in the afternoons, but it might be earlier, it might be later. But in that announcement, I'll have the topic that we're going to discuss for the week, along with reading and any new assignments that I'm making available. And there may be reminders about upcoming assignments, especially if there is a quiz that week. So I'm going to share my screen and pull up one of our Canvas sites just so you can take a look and kind of see what you should be aware of. Okay, so this is a homepage for one of my classes. Your syllabus is available in a few places. You can get it on the front page. You can also get it just a Canvas version of it right here where it says syllabus, or if you go to modules under course information, you can download the PDF there as well. And that has everything you really need to know about the class. So make sure that you spend some time reviewing the syllabus. And as you probably already know, there's a syllabus quiz that is due on Monday, January 6th. That just gives you a practice taking quizzes, but also just helps refresh your memory about some points in the syllabus. On any of the syllabi, you'll see a tentative schedule of topics. It's a loose, I pretty much stick to it, but just note that there might be some changes if we have to slow down or speed up, just depending upon the course of the class to make sure that we stay on track. Your book. So there, depending upon what class you might have for health and social justice, our textbook is Social Injustice and Public Health by Levy. For personal health, our textbook is Health, the Basics by Donatel. I believe I say 13th edition. I didn't realize that that's no longer available through the school's bookstore, so they only have the 14th edition, which is fine. I'll be getting that as well, so I'll refer to chapters of reading with either version that you have access to. And then for drugs and drugs and health, we have Drugs Across the Spectrum. The 9th edition is available. So the main way that you're going to access content is through modules, which you'll see on the left. We'll click on modules. And you'll see all the modules that are currently available to you. So right now, it's start here in introduction. All classes should have something that looks like that. And just make sure that you go through this module. If you click on the first item, which is Welcome to Public Health, you will read this little section, and then you can just click next to go to the next page in this module. So all of these classes that I'm sharing this video for are 100% online. We do not have any in-person classes. Again, I am your instructor, Diane Brown or Professor Brown. This is my 4th year at Orange Coast College. Before that, I worked at Long Beach City College as an adjunct instructor for many years. I also work in the field of public health, most recently with the City of Long Beach Public Health Department. I've talked about your syllabus already. One thing I'll note is that although this is an online class, I do have in-person office hours. I do teach classes in person as well, so I'm on campus. So if you're on campus as well and you'd like to meet me for hours, or if you just want to go to campus specifically for office hours, I have them in person on Mondays and Wednesdays from 11:15 to 12:15. The Wednesday one is going to shift, and I'll make an announcement about that in a few weeks. I also can meet virtually, and that is on Thursdays from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. If you happen to go on and you're in the waiting room and I'm not letting you in, just shoot me a quick email. Sometimes I lose track of time and I forget to log in, or I think earlier this week I was in the wrong Zoom room. So just if you send me a message, then I'll know that I've done something wrong and I'll make sure to get in the right place. So that's Tuesdays from 2 to 4. And if none of those days and times work, you can always reach out and we can schedule something virtually. Make sure that you turn in your assignments on time so that you can get credit for them. If you want to get them in on time, they need to be in by 11:59 p.m. of the due date. Sometimes if you put it in at 11:59, by the time they upload, it'll be midnight and it might say late, but I can see what time that you submitted it. And so I wouldn't mark it late in that instance. One last thing I want to share is on your grades. So make sure that you are checking your grades on a regular basis. I will try to let you know once I've graded kind of a group of assignments. I usually grade a week or two's worth of assignments at one time. So rather than just kind of one by one. So make sure that when you check your grade, to see if I've left a comment. If you go to this page, you might see if I've left a comment for you. So if there's a little bubble, sorry, my dog wants to bother me. There's a little comment bubble next to one of these. That just means that I've left you a comment. Maybe your document didn't upload correctly, or you uploaded the wrong assignment, or sometimes I am not able to read assignments. One thing I want you to make sure that you do, speaking of, if you use Google Docs, don't send me the Google link, because most times students forget to give me permission to view the link. Instead, download the document once you're done as a PDF and upload that as your assignment. But if there, you would see a comment here, and that lets you know that I have left a comment for you. Sometimes it's just saying, wonderful job, I loved what you said, keep up the good work. So be sure that you're checking those. And then on this right-hand side, know that you can check or uncheck this box that says calculate grades based only on graded assignments. And so that can sometimes make a difference in what your grade looks like. So make sure to unclick that if you want to see what your grade is for all of your assignments. Just note that there might be a difference, not for this test student because they have not turned anything in yet. It's just me. But make sure you realize that this checking this box can make a difference. All right, well, that is all that I have to share with you. Again, very excited to have you in my class. One last thing I want to note is that I am going to be teaching one additional class. It is a peer health educator course. So if you are a public health major, if you are a people person, if you want to build your people skills, if you are going into a career where you want to be able to reach out to people, to tell them information, think about joining my peer health educator course. It is a 10-week course, so it will be starting week 7 of the semester. We will meet on campus Wednesdays from 11:15 to 1:15. It's a really interesting class because we do things on campus, like set up booths and give out information on drug use, on drunk driving, on breast cancer, on heart disease. We do sort of like a mini health fairs, and we will do an event during the semester. You also earn a peer health educator certification that you can take and use at any other college. And so the way that this class is operating this semester is as an internship. So you get, I'm not sure how many units, maybe a couple of units for the class, but I will have more information in the next week or so, and hope that some of you will join me and sign up. I think it'll be a great opportunity. But again, very excited to have you in my class this semester. I hope you all work really hard and do well. If anything comes up, please keep me posted. Communication is very important. So let me know if you're having challenges or if you are ill or anything happens that gets in the way of you being successful in the class. We want to address it as soon as possible. All right. Thank you all, and my apologies again for getting this video up so late, but I will see you soon.